Hey boys and girls, feel free to follow along to this video. I'm just gonna do a couple of sketches of portraits. I'm gonna use the proportions of the face resource that was in the slideshow that I uploaded for your project. And so you kind of just follow along step by step and add all of the items that you need to add to make your portrait. You can draw yourself and make a self-portrait if you want, but you do not have to. It can just be a face. One thing is that you want to make sure that it's big enough to add in all the details. I often see kids draw these like teeny tiny little like quarter-sized faces. You are just drawing one, so you want to fill up the whole page as much as you can with that face so we can really, get in there and make all of those details. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we want to draw an oval. Heads are shaped like eggs. They're bigger at the top and smaller at the bottom, right, for your chin. So the top of your head is going to be bigger. Top, like where your forehead is, it's going to be wider, and where your chin is narrower. And so you might want to start with a circle and then add on the chin part. That might be easier. And I do like really, really light lines until I think that I got it right, which I don't have it right a lot of the time, even once I think I do. I make lots of mistakes, so that's why I'm gonna grab my eraser and just have that handy because I'm not that amazing at portrait drawing. I think it's something that I really wish I was good at, but I'm just like okay. And I'm only okay because I do this project and I get tons of practice whenever I do this project, which is what you guys are getting right now. Okay, so I have the oval, so you can see it's narrower down towards the chin and it's wider up towards the top of the head. Okay, so now it's telling us to draw a line of symmetry. This should be like a vertical line right down the middle and should be super light. So you might not even be able to see it all that well in the video. So I just drew that line right down the middle. And then, so that's a vertical line. And then the next thing you want to do is draw a line halfway down the face. That's where the eyes go. People usually draw the eyes up like where the forehead's supposed to go. So you want to find halfway. If I look, I feel like this is halfway. I'm going to put my pointer finger here and I'm going to compare this to this. And look, I didn't move these two fingers and it's showing about the same amount of space. So that's like one way to figure that out without using a ruler is just kind of eyeball it. And that is good enough. So now I'm gonna add a horizontal line, really, really light, right? Halfway down the face. Okay, so that is where the eyes are going to go. Now, let's just start drawing the eyes, okay? So, because they're on here already, so it's like, let's just start drawing them. So here's one eye. I feel like I made that too big. Here's another. It's really hard to get them to be exactly the same. If they're not exactly the same, don't worry about it. Just do your best. That's all I'm doing. Okay, so I'm also gonna add in an eyelid. You might wanna do that. Another one over here. And then if you look in the mirror, there's the colored part of your eye, which is called the iris. And then there's that black dot in the middle of your eye. It's actually a hole in your eye. That's what you see through. It's called your pupil. You don't actually see the entire iris, the entire colored part. So you know it's a circle, but you don't want to be able to see the whole thing. So I'm drawing like a circle that just the top and the bottom is hidden by my eyelid. And then I'm gonna draw a little circle in the middle of that and color it in. That's gonna be my pupil. Okay, so we can add some other details on the eyes. We can add like another crease above the eye if you like. You can add some eyelashes. So I'll just add a few of those, maybe on the top, maybe like a little bit on the bottom, not really anything too crazy. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the nose. The nose is halfway between where the eyes are, that line that we made the eyes on, and the chin. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I think that this is halfway, and I'm gonna put my finger there, and then I'm gonna compare. Those distances are about the same, so this is where the nose needs to be. And the nose, I'm just gonna make kind of like in the image over here, the paper that I'm using to guide my drawing. I'm just gonna make like a little curve, and then I'm gonna make 2 other little curves for the sides of my nostrils, and then maybe like a little line kind of going up. It can be as simple as that. You can add little ovals for nostrils if you want, you don't have to. All right, now your mouth is supposed to go halfway between the bottom of the nose and the chin. So right about there, that's where my mouth is gonna go. And I'm gonna draw some lips. I'm gonna draw a line in the middle. Maybe your person is smiling, maybe they're frowning, or they're just maybe making a straight face, whatever you wanna do. Okay. All right, and then next up, we're gonna draw some ears. Okay, so the ears, the top of the ears, you want to align next to your eyes. The bottom of the ears align to the bottom of your nose. So here and here, here and here. So I'm gonna draw those ears. So 1 ear, 2 ears. You can add details in them, but you don't really have to, especially if your hair is gonna cover parts of them. You wanna make sure that you add them though, because they are required for your project. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of some of these little sketchy lines on here. Okay, next thing we wanna do is add in a neck. And so the neck is gonna start at the bottom of the ears and go in and out, in and out. And then if you wanna add in shoulders, you can just kind of have them going off the page, but you're required to have a head and a neck. You don't really need to worry about shoulders, but you can get really fancy. You can add as many details on here as you want, but you have to make sure that you do the requirements. A lot of students are submitting these beautiful artworks, but they're missing some requirements, and then I have to take points off. And it's not about your skill level. It's about, did you try to draw eyes? Did you draw them? Did you try and do your best to do a nose, your mouth, your ears, your neck, the head, eyebrows? We got to add those in. So eyebrows are, a bunch of hairs made of lines. So think of each hair as an individual line. And I feel like I made that way too far above the eye. So I'm going to erase, I'm going to reposition, retry, draw it super light. So I can do that. Okay, draw my other eyebrow. I just kind of made like a bunch of squiggly kind of lines to show like hairs. Give it a little bit of texture. Okay, all right, so now I just need to add hair. And hair, your hairline, you want to come down from your forehead just like a little bit less than halfway. So maybe like here in between like that eye line and the top of the head. So maybe like a third of the way down. You want to come down from the top of the head. And then like that's your hairline. Now, if you're a boy, obviously your hair is going to look different than girls' hair. I'm going to add girl hair on this one, and on my next one, I'll add like a boy style of hair. So I want my hair's part to be over here. And then I'm going to have my hair come across my face, and I'm going to bring my hair up off of my head just a little bit too, and then down and around the sides. I'm going to erase that little mark I made from my hairline, and I'm going to erase the top of my head, because you don't actually see like the top of my head inside my hair, right? My hair sits on top of that. And then my hair is going to be behind my ear. I'm going to erase my shoulder right here, because you're not going to see that. And okay, and now I'm going to add it on the other side, because I have a half shaved head right now. here. Again, erase this shoulder. Now guys, I know I'm drawing this probably a lot faster than what you will be, but you know, there's only one way to get better, and that's to practice. And again, that's what you're doing right now. So I have to make 2 sketches. That's your requirement for this part of the project. Save these sketches because you can use them for the next assignment next week. You could take this sketch and then turn it into your final project by coloring it, or you may draw a new one for your next project. So don't, you know, lose your sketches. Okay, so now I'm gonna draw another one. So this is my finished first version, first sketch, you know, and again, you could get really fancy and draw like a color of a shirt if you want, or like a necklace or earrings. You could do whatever extra, you could do a background, whatever extra touches you want. This is what you need times 2. You need to do 2 sketches this week, okay? Because practice is what is gonna get you better at drawing portraits. Okay, so now I'm gonna do another one. So I'm gonna start off again. I'm gonna start off with that circle. And then I'm gonna start off, or I'm gonna add on the chin on the bottom. Okay, so super light, okay? Now I think I got it right, so I'm gonna add a darker line. Okay, and I'm gonna get rid of some of those sketchy lines in the middle. Okay, halfway, I think is about here. Compare this distance to this distance, horizontal line. That's where your eyes are gonna go. Halfway across, vertical. So it's like crosshairs, right? You have like the vertical and horizontal lines crossing. So it has to be halfway down and halfway across. That's like one of the most important things about drawing portraits, is getting the eyes in the right spot, okay? Okay, so now I'm gonna start on those eyes. Okay, I got my eyes. I'm going to maybe add in a little bit of eyelashes. Even for boys, you want to add eyelashes. You have them. Some boys have longer eyelashes than girls. Okay. All right, nose. Your nose is halfway between your eye line and your chin. So here's what I think halfway is. So I'm gonna compare this distance to this distance. This is where my nose is gonna go. Okay. Nose, done. Okay, mouth, halfway between the bottom of the nose and the bottom of the chin. So right about here. And this one I'm gonna make smiling. Add some teeth in there. Do you have to do teeth? Nope. If you wanna do teeth, you wanna add that in, go for it. All right, now I'm gonna add eyebrows. Okay, ears. Remember, ears go from the corner of the eye to the bottom of the nose. Just make a little curve up, down, there, corner of the eye, bottom of the nose, up, down for the earlobe. You can add in some details if you would like. Okay, neck. from the bottom of the ears, bring it in, out, in and out. Shoulders, curve it out. You could make a collar of a shirt, real simple if you'd like. Okay, hair. About a third of the way in between the eye line and the top of the head, so maybe like here. And I'll do like a boy's haircut, like a shorter haircut. So here's the hairline. So boys are gonna have like sideburns coming down here. But again, if you're a girl and you wanna make a boy portrait or vice versa, like that's totally fine. It does not have to be of you. It doesn't have to be of anybody that actually exists in real life. I'm gonna erase the top of the head. Like these ones I'm just making them up. So like you're welcome to do that too. Now I can still see where the top of the head was, and I'm gonna add the hair just like a little bit beyond that, because when your hair grows, it grows like, you know, just a little bit beyond your head. And so we'll just make it like kind of spiked up at the top, maybe a little bit. And then on the sides, it goes down. So I'm just kind of using a zigzag line. That's really all I'm doing here. So zigzag down, top, zigzag up, side, switch to down. And then maybe some lines to show that it's going up or down. Just a little bit of texture. Erase those sketch lines. And okay, second sketch done. So here is what you could do. 2 boys, 2 girls, 1 boy, 1 girl. Doesn't not matter. Whatever kind of portraits you want to do, you have to do 2 sketches. You have to have eyes, a nose, a mouth, ears, eyebrows. You have to have a head and a neck. If you want to add in shoulders, you can, but you don't have to. That's optional. And that's what's required for this week's assignment. Good luck. Can't wait to see your work.